Hello, children. I'm back with another chapter, and the name of the chapter is Weather, Climate, and Adaptation of Animals to Climate. Now, here in this chapter, we are going to read about weather, climate, and different adaptation of animals in that particular climate. First of all, we are going to discuss about weather and difference and climate, and weather and their differences also, that what is the difference between weather and climate. You know that weather of a place can be defined as measure of its daily atmospheric conditions such as humidity, temperature, lightning events, rainfall storms, snow, and so on. Now, different elements of weather are what? Rainfall. Rainfall is a one kind of precipitation. You know very well rainfall. Then temperature, right? Weather also depends upon temperature. If the temperature is high, we say that the weather is very hot, and if the temperature is low, we say that weather is cold. Temperature is humid, we say. And what is humidity? Humidity is the water vapor present in the air, the amount of water vapor present in the air. So in that air, whatever amount of water vapor is present, that is called humidity. Then snowfall, then it also depends upon storms, then it depends upon wind speed also. Like if the speed of wind is high, then the weather will be different, and the speed and the wind speed is low, then the weather is different. So sometimes the weather is sunny, sometimes it is cloudy, sometimes it is, we are saying, partly cloudy. Then sometimes it is very hot when temperature is very high. Then the temperature is warm also. Then temperature is cold also. Temperature is windy also. Temperature, we can say, breezy also. And temperature is not temperature, not temperature, it's a weather. Weather is windy also, weather is breezy also, weather is rainy also. And you know that weather report generally contains the information about weather of the day, not the climate of the day. Always the weather forecasting you have heard, but you haven't heard about climate forecasting. Have you heard any time climate forecasting? No. Always the scientists do weather forecasting. So that meteorological department always predict about weather, not about the climate. So the government has a special department called meteorological department that predicts the weather of a place and prepare the weather report. The weather report is generally published in newspapers, radio, and television. You must have seen. The weather forecast is important for people because many of our day-to-day activities are based on weather condition. For example, we can check the possibility of rainfall on a particular day and carry an umbrella with us accordingly. Now, this is a sample 3-day weather forecast. Like you must have seen in the newspaper or in some or in mobiles also, in television also, that today's weather in north it is rain and thunderstorm, while in the south it is hot, dry, and sunny. Like this, on Friday again weather report is given, and Saturday's weather report is also given. Now, weather of a place is never constant. It changes in every day. It can alter every day or every hour, or every hour it changes. Like in morning, if it is cloudy, you can see that in noon it must be very warm or very hot. For instance, the weather might be sunny in the morning in an area, but really cold in the evening. The weather report of a place always includes the minimum and maximum temperatures of the day. It always says that the maximum temperature is 21 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature is 14 degrees Celsius. See this weather report, weather forecasting, always it gives in weather report the minimum and maximum temperature, and it is measured using a minimum and maximum thermometer. You have already done this in chapter 4 heat. You have read about this minimum maximum thermometer, and the diagram is also given in your explanation. The minimum temperature can be experienced in the morning time, while the maximum temperature is experienced in the afternoon. To measure the rainfall of a place, an instrument called a rain gauge is used. Which instrument is used? Rain gauge. And rain gauge collects the rainwater of origin and has a measuring scale which determines the quantity of rainfall of that place. The diagram is also given here. This kind of instrument, children, is a rain gauge instrument. It measures, it collects the rainwater, and there is a measuring scale also given in the walls of the glass. Can you see that? And it determines the quantity of rainfall of that place. Now, how do changes in the weather occur? The question arises. Now, any change in the weather of a place on the earth is because of the sun. Sun is the main source of energy, and what sun does, it radiates large amounts of heat and light energy on the earth. The formation of winds, the phenomena of rainfall, and the change in season all occurs because of the sun. The wind formation is also, you must have read about, we have done about land breeze, sea breeze and all. The formation of wind is always due to sun. The phenomena of rainfall, it is also due to the temperature variations, because evaporation occurs, and then condensation occurs, and then the rainfall occurs, the precipitation occurs. And the change in seasons is also due to because of the sun. And why the seasons changes are occurring? Because of the revolution and rotation of the earth. So revolution of the earth, basically revolution of the earth. Why days are shorter in the winter season? Now question arises, like why do the days are longer in the summer season, and why do the days are shorter in the winter seasons? So we know that the earth spins on an axis around the sun. That everyone knows that it spins around an axis. Hence, the amount of sunlight a place receives varies throughout the year as its position with respect to the sun changes because of the rotation of the earth. And due to that, amount of sunlight a place receives changes and varies throughout the year as its position with respect to the sun changes because of the rotation. It is, children, varies, it is not various. I'll change that spelling, I did by mistake this one. It is varies, not various. So hence the amount of sunlight a place receives varies throughout the year as its position with respect to the sun changes because of the rotation of the earth. This also leads to change in the seasons of a place. So this way the season of a place changes. In the summer season, the position of the place is closer to the sun, and hence it receives sunlight for longer hours, while in the winter season the position of a place is farther to the sun, and hence it receives sunlight for shorter hours. See this figure, sun is here, now the earth is rotating also and revolving around the sun also. So this place of the sun, earth is here right now. So spring in the northern hemisphere and autumn in the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere it is spring and it is autumn in the southern hemisphere. Now summer in the northern hemisphere, because this part of the earth is receiving continuous sunlight. So which kind of season is here in the northern hemisphere? Summer. And which type of season is there in the southern hemisphere? Winter. Then again check it here, this side is getting more sunlight. So autumn in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. Now again check it, this side of the earth is getting more sunlight. So winter in the northern hemisphere, winter here, see this is this part of the earth is not receiving that much sunlight. So here it is winter in the northern hemisphere and summer in the southern hemisphere, because the most part of the southern hemisphere are getting sunlight. So this way the changes in the seasons occur, and this way we can also see that the days are shorter in the winter season and days are longer in the summer season. Now the second topic of this chapter is what? Climate. Now what is climate, children? Do climate also changes every hour or every day? No, the climate do not change, only weather changes. That is why these meteorological department people, they are doing weather forecasting, not climate forecasting. The climate of a place can be defined as the prevailing weather condition of a place for a long period of time, for example 25 years. So they'll decide after 25, it's the time condition for which if the 25 years the same type of climate will remain, then they are saying that the climate of this place is cold or hot. So for example, the temperature of Rajasthan is generally high throughout the year and it does not receive much rainfall, so we can say that Rajasthan is a hot and dry place. So here this is the it is given that tropical regions, this pink color, this is the tropical region near the equator, then yellow color is the dry one, then this is what temperate region, so this is a bluish green color, then these are the continentals and these are the polar regions. These are the polar regions which are almost very cold. They have a cold climate throughout the year. So climate and adaptation. Now coming on to the third topic, that is climate and adaptation. The climate of a place can affect the living organisms of that area. Sure, they are affecting the living organism of that area. The animals living in a particular region adapt themselves so that they can survive the weather conditions of that place. Now if the living organisms have to survive in that climate or in that particular weather, they have to adapt themselves in that particular region. So the features and the habits of animals start to change as per the climate of the place. Now in polar regions, what happened in Alaska, Canada, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden and Finland, these are the polar regions. What type of animals live here? Polar bear, you know, penguins, they live here. The area of the earth that surrounds the North Pole and the South Pole is called polar regions. The climate of the polar region is extremely cold throughout the year and receives heavy snow. They receive heavy snow there. The sun does not rise for 6 months of the year in polar region, and then it stays up for the next 6 months. Same kind of climate is there, weather is there. The temperature in the polar region can be as low as minus 37 degrees Celsius. My God, it's a too low temperature, children. Most common animals found in these regions are, you know, polar bears, penguins. Other animals that can be found in the polar areas are fishes, birds, oxen, musk, reindeers, fox, whales and seals. So and they also have adapted themselves so that they can survive easily. So because of the temperature minus 37 degrees Celsius, it is extremely cold throughout the year and it receives heavy snow, so they must adapt themselves to survive there. And you first of all, you must have seen that most of their color is whitish color, because the white color, why? Because the snow is white, so they camouflage themselves in that surroundings and they save themselves from their predators, and even they can get the prey also by hiding themselves. So these are the some general features which they have. Now first of all, we will talk about the adaptations of polar bear. The white fur of the polar bear makes it easier for them to hide in the snow and therefore save themselves from their predators. In the same way, it makes it easier for them to catch their prey. I told you right now that the white fur, the white body of the polar bear makes it easier for them to hide in the snow, to camouflage themselves in the snow, and therefore they can save themselves from the predator and also they can catch their prey. The polar bears have 2 layers of thick fur on them so that they can survive extremely cold conditions. 2 layers of thick fur, so that because the temperature is so low, minus 37 degrees Celsius, that they have 2 layers of thick fur on them. The polar bears move slowly and rest a lot so that they do not get overheated because of their thick fur. They always move very slowly, so that is why, the reason is why they are moving slowly, so that their fur do not get overheated. And the polar bears often swim on warm days to keep themselves cool. Always they swim on warm days. The paws of the polar bear are large and wide so that it can swim as well as walk easily in the snow. The paws are wide so that they can swim and walk easily in the snow. The next one is what? The polar bear can swim underwater as well because it can keep its nostrils closed for a long time. They can swim underwater. Now, the strong sense of smell of polar bear makes it possible to locate its prey during such harsh weather. They have strong sense of smell, polar bears have. So they can locate their prey by that smell, and in harsh weather also they can smell that their prey smell also they can smell. So this is the way the polar bear adapt itself in that polar regions. Now again I gave you in a picture form which can be easy to learn. See, the white fur is not easily visible in the snowy white background. Camouflaging they are doing, which does what is the function, why do they camouflage? Its predators and prey are unable to see it. It has a very strong sense of smell. Why? It helps to bear to locate and catch its prey. Then it has long curved and sharp claws. Why? Because they help it to walk on ice. Then the fourth one is it has a layer of fat under its skin. Why? Because the fat insulates its body from cold and keeps it warm. Then the next is what? It has two thick layers of fur. Why? Because these keep it warm in cold weather. So these, the why and the adaptations are both are given. Children, please go through with this properly again, that what is the reason why they have that kind of adaptation, and why and how these are the answers of some questions, children. Now the next animal which is always found in polar regions is what? Penguins. The penguins are also white in color, you know, so that they can hide in the snow, they can camouflage themselves to just catch their prey also, and to save themselves from predators also. They have thick skin with large fat content in their body, so that they can survive the cold weather easily. Even they have thick skin with large fat. So next is what? The penguins generally live in crowd. They always live in crowd and nest closely so that they can stay warm. They do not move alone. So that is why the penguins, you have always found that they are always moving in a group. Now penguins have webbed feet which allow them to swim. Here the penguins adaptations are also given. Penguins helps in how in water their movement helps. Their movement is done by heavy solid bones, a pair of wings. Heavy solid bones, how the heavy solid bones help them? They can dive and move easily. And what a pair of wings help how the pair of wings help them? Propel forward in the water. Then they have a streamlined body also. You must have seen their body is streamlined. And why they are streamlined body? To reduce the resistance of the water. Then they have waterproof feather also, so that they can swim faster in the water. Now warmth. How they keep their body warm? A layer of overlapping feather coated with oil, and which make what? Pockets of air underneath their feathers. And then what happens due to that? Which holds the heat. So this is the warmth. They are taking the warmth in this way. A layer of overlapping feather coated with oil, pockets of air underneath their feathers, and which holds the heat. Then how do they protect? They move in groups, guard around the eggs, swimming zigzag. Always they swim zigzag throughout the water. So these are the ways of protection. They move in groups, guard around the eggs. They protect their eggs by guarding around the nest only. They live almost closely to the nest always. Then diet. What type of diet they take? Krill, squids and fishes. They take these things in the diet. Then how do they breathe? So they breathe through special blood and muscle tissues. They have special blood and muscle tissues which do what? Which increase the movement of oxygen for during an underwater dive. So they have a special blood and muscle tissues. When they take underwater dive, it increases their oxygen level. So this way they breathe. Now some birds in the polar region, they migrate from other countries to polar regions. The birds, in order to protect themselves from cold weather of the winters in the polar region, from polar region they migrate to other regions, often migrate from these areas to warmer places. Sometimes in winters when the weather becomes so cold that some of the birds they migrate, they move from these areas to some warmer places, and then they return back after the winter season. For example, the Siberian crane migrates to India in Rajasthan, Haryana and some northeast regions during the winter season in Siberia. When in Siberia or in or in China, whenever there is a too much cold is there, the Siberian crane migrates to India in Rajasthan or Haryana and some northeast regions during winter season. These birds that migrate to different places during a change in weather are often called migratory birds. They can travel used distances of 15,000 kilometers to protect themselves from extremely cold environment. So this much kilometer they travel to protect themselves from extremely cold environment. Such birds migrate to the same places every year. They go to Rajasthan. They go to Rajasthan and live there. So the migratory birds, again the next point is the migratory birds fly very high so that the heat generated by the flight wings can be disposed of in the cold conditions. They always fly very high. The migratory birds have a sense of direction so that they can travel to the same place every time. They have sense of direction, children, in the air, in the atmosphere. So the migratory birds also use landmarks or follow the direction of sun and stars to migrate. Such an amazing thing, children. These birds use landmarks or follow the direction of the sun and stars to migrate. See how intelligent they are, how clever they are. Some birds also use the magnetic field of earth and find direction. Such a superb kind of adaptation, or such a superb kind of feature they have, children. Apart from birds, fishes, insects and mammals also migrate. So this is these are the adaptations of polar regions. Now coming on to tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest, that means the regions near the equator, that regions. The tropical regions on the earth are the regions which are close to the equator and hence receive more amount of sunlight during the year. So here the days are very, very warm. Because of these areas have a hot climate. So earlier we had a talk about colder climate. Now we are talking about a hot climate adaptations, the adaptations which the animals do in hot climate. The temperature in the tropical regions can be as high as 40 degrees Celsius and can drop until 50 degrees Celsius only. The temperature will not go in minus degree or very cold. It goes till 15 degrees Celsius only. The length of the day and night are almost equal in these regions. However, there is a lot of rainfall, and so the tropical rainforests are found in this region. The tropical rainforests are home to a wide variety of vegetation and animals. Due to a large habitation, the animals often compete for food in these regions. So many animals and so many varieties of animals are present that they always compete for food in these regions. Many animals have adapted themselves so that they can live on the trees and find their food easily. The skin color of these animals is generally similar to that of the surroundings so that they can catch their prey. So even they are camouflaging with the surroundings and protect themselves from the predator. And the reason of camouflaging is always what? To catch their prey and to protect themselves from the predator. Also, many of these animals have a good eyesight and better sense of hearing. So they have again a good eyesight and better sense of hearing. Now, different animals found in the tropical rainforest and their features are what? The first animal which is found in the tropical rainforest is the red-eyed frog. And what is the adaptation it does? It has a sticky feet so that it can climb up on the trees easily. It has a sticky feet which helps it to climb up on the trees easily. Secondly, the monkeys, they have long tails so that they can climb up the trees easily. These are found in tropical rainforest, children. Even their hands and feet have a structure that help them in holding the branches of trees easily. Third one, toucan birds. The toucan birds adapt themselves so that they can find food easily. They adapt themselves so that they can find food easily. They have a large and long beak with which it can reach the food that is found on the weaker branches as well. So they have a large and long beak. Then lions and tigers are also found here, and lions and tigers, they have thick skin, sharp eyesight and sensitive hearing, and these are the adaptations they have. And again, one more, camouflaging is always there, children. Then the lion-tailed macaque, that is bird ape. Beard ape, the beard ape lives, see that beard, the beard ape lives generally on the trees in the tropical forest because it can find its food easily on them, such as insects, seeds, fruits, leaves, flowers and stems. This ape also has a silver white mane that starts from its head to its cheek. See that mane, you know. So this is a lion-tailed macaque. Then elephants, the elephant found in the tropical rainforest also have adapted themselves according to the climate. Its huge trunk gives it a nice sense of smell and helps in picking the food easily. The elephant also eats the bark of the trees. The tusk of large teeth of elephant allow it to clear the bark of the trees. The large ears of the elephant allow it to hear sensitive sounds that make it easier for it to protect itself from predators. So the large ears of elephants allow it to hear sensitive sounds. Large ears, so they can hear so they have a super sense of this listening. The ears also protect the elephant from the hot and humid climate of the rainforest. So these ears are helping so much to animals. So these are the adaptations, children, which you have to learn. So so again I'll just recapitulate everything what is important in this chapter. First one is what, that weather and climate. Weather is what, weather changes day to day, hour to hour. So we can say that weather is defined as what, you can say this one as a measure of its daily atmospheric condition, that is called what, weather. And weather depends upon four important points. That first is rainfall, temperature, humidity and wind speed. Four important things are what, rainfall, temperature, humidity and wind speed, and snowfall also, storms also. But the four main are what, rainfall, temperature, humidity and wind. So rainfall, you know, it is a kind of precipitation which occurs. The temperature is, again, you know, when the temperature is high, the weather is hot. When the temperature is low, the weather is cold. Humidity is what, the water vapor, the amount of water vapor present in the air, and that is called humidity. If humidity is more, the weather is you can say sticky kind of weather. You can say it is not like the sweating kind of weather. And when humidity is low, we can say that weather is dry. Then snowfall, storms and wind speed also all can make the weather condition different. So this is weather. And what is climate, children? We have learned that climate is what, it can be defined as a prevailing weather conditions of a place for a long period of time. For same weather conditions are there for a place for a long period of time, more than 25 years, or from, you can say, 22 to 30 years. That condition of a place makes a climate. And it changes, the climate occurs, the climate changes occurs due to what, due to everything depends upon the major source of energy, and that is what, sun. It all depends upon sun. And then we read about polar regions adaptations and tropical region adaptations. So polar regions, we had learnt about what, polar bears and penguins. And in tropical regions we have learnt about what, tropical rainforest, we have learnt about what, so many animals, this red-eyed frog, monkeys, talking birds, then lions and tigers, the lion-tailed macaque, and then elephants. About these we have learned. So this chapter is so small, children. Please go through that with the explanation properly, and the important points which I have given in the tabular form, those are important. Please learn 2 to 3 adaptations of each animal. It is very important. The adaptations are very important, children, here in this chapter, and the difference between weather and climate is important. Otherwise, children, this chapter is also done. That's all. Thank you. Even I'm sending a question answer sheet with this chapter, and I feel you must have completed the earlier work, and don't make it a burden for yourself. Keep enjoying your work, children, and try to complete them as soon as possible. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay safe, children.